We're on.
Good evening, good evening. We are live on YouTube. Welcome to Sesku and Emsworth Community Scale Model Club TV. Thanks for watching, everybody. First, welcome to Mr. Marc Bridge. Good evening, sir.
Hello,
good evening,
Bridgie.
Sir. Hello, Roo. Hello, Jean.
Hello, guys.
Okay, so let's start with any comments. If anybody's got any comments, you can post a comment on, and we will see those, or I will see those, and I will shout them out to the guys as and when. I'm just going to pop a little banner up here. Let's just have a little look, see what I've got. Let's have a look. I'm going to scroll down and see. What have I got? I've got, yeah, that'll do. And that should be showing across the bottom of the screen now. Okay, so you guys should be able to see that floating across the bottom of the screen. Good evening, guys. We hope that you're all well. Anybody that's watching, if you've got any comments, leave a comment. Or any questions that you want to ask me and the team. Thanks to Marc and Jean, and in fact, Andy and Jean and Marc for joining me this evening. So we're just going to have a little bit of a catch-up then, guys, about club.
Yeah.
Quiet today, Andy.
Yeah, a bit quiet, but still, I reckon it's still good numbers. Obviously, it's time of year and this, that, and the a lot of people have got a lot of things going on, which is totally understandable. I've been there, done that over the last few weeks, as you know. Yeah. But the enthusiasm, it's still there, mate. It's still got the sesku feeling.
Certainly has. Let me just have a little count up then. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 in today, which actually is probably our lowest number on record. But we have got guys missing. We'll go through them at the moment, in a moment. So, Dave Housecroft is watching. Dave, good evening, mate. Hope that your operation went well. You can leave a comment there, mate, and let us know how that went on.
Hey up, Dave.
Evening, Dave.
Evening. So, me in club today with Marc Bridge and Martin Beddoe. Always nice to see Martin. Clem doing a little bit. Mr. Fisher, did anybody see, because I didn't know what it is, that diorama that Andy brought in today?
I went up to it because I was going into the kitchen. And I looked at the dial, and to be totally honest, Paul was stood outside of me. Yeah. I says, "That's another belter." He said, "It's not to do with me." Yeah. You're kidding. And I'll be totally honest. I'll be totally honest. I went, "Who did it?" And he said, "It's Andy's." I said, "Bloody hell," because I'm used to him doing cards and this and that other. But and I actually said to Andy, I went up to him, and it was an outstanding piece of work. Absolutely superb it was. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
The most unfortunate thing from my point of view with that is, I also thought, well, it's not unfortunate. I also thought it was a Paul Patton piece, Marc. Yeah. And that's kind of why I sort of held off a little bit, thinking I need to make sure I've got at least 10, 15 minutes to look at this piece.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I've tricked myself up there by not going and have a look because it was so good.
Yeah. No disrespect to Paul, but when you say something like that, you naturally assume it's Paul's. And no disrespect to anybody else, because he's the main dio guy. I'm not labelling him, but everybody goes, "Oh, maybe one of Paul." Yeah. But I said to Andy, I says, "It's an outstanding piece of work. Absolutely stupendous."
I was chatting with Andy when he was packing it up just before he went, and I said to him, went up to him and shook him by the hand and said, "That is an outstanding piece." Yeah. And he was just talking me through it and whatever. And he said it was done in sort of like the earlier period of the Afghan war. It's a Russian tank, Russian soldiers, and he said, "Look, I've had that Verlinden figure there for 30 years, and he's done it." He said, "I've actually got a chance to use it," and it was sort of like an Iraqi soldier with his hands up, sort of like surrendering. Yeah. But he span it round, he span it round and showed the back of the building and whatever. And he said, "Look, if you even look there, there's even a couple of miniature bottle scale models of scale bits of vodka bottles."
Yeah.
200. I think he said to me it was 235 hours.
That's right.
235 hours. I can't even work that out in my head. That's an enormous time.
That's a lot of time.
A lot of time, but it's paid off. I mean, that thing is just stunning.
Cool. Okay, so other people down at club today, Trev Grace, doing, I think you were looking into some kind of, well, when I was talking to him later on, he was trying to upscale and downscale things for his 3D printer. Marc and Ange, always nice to see. Jean, obviously you were there. Jean, what did you have on the bench today?
Not a lot. A Flying Fortress, and all I've done is a paint count.
Right, okay.
Because we were dress shopping, weren't we? We were dress shopping with me and Ange, weren't we?
Right.
So her and Ange just went shopping.
We did dress shopping.
And I was in extreme pain as they both went, "Oh, I like that. Yes, I like that. Do you like the dots?" No, I mean, dots are too big. But Jane just started this fortress, so she was just doing a paint call out and getting bits and bobs. And we both got distracted and with the fair as well, didn't we? So we haven't done a great deal today, but still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Speaking of the fate, Mark, I'm sorry to see that you've taken your face painting off.
Yes, you pirate.
No, I didn't actually get one. I got one done.
You promised.
As we were walking into Churchill, I saw you and you said, "I'm going to have a pirate." And I thought to myself, if I give him a tenner to make sure he does it, and I wish I'd have done now because you'd have been sat there sweating with makeup running down your face. I missed an opportunity there to do it.
So let me explain. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie up a couple of things. First of all, Dave Housecroft, operation went well. Just resting up and had a nice visit today from our Bill. That's brilliant. With a thumbs up and a pray. And Rob says, "Good evening." So let me tie up. The reason that the numbers were a little bit lower than usual today is because the place where we have our meetings, first and third Saturday of the month in the Lawson Hut at Badsworth. Well, today they had the Badsworth sort of gala on, which meant a lot of the emphasis what was sort of focused on that. Okay. The people who have come to club, the regulars that come, they know how much, not of a pain in the arse parking is, but how much of a pain in the arse parking is. Because we do have to park round the corner, don't we, guys, to try to keep the street clear. But because the gala was held in the place where we normally park our cars, obviously we couldn't do that, which meant that we had to park outside the hut. Andy Norfolk in today. Andy, on the vlog video that I shot earlier. So, Andy Preston says, "Hi, Mark, and all in chat." Good evening, Andy. Thanks for joining us.
Evening, Andy.
Evening, Andy.
So let's explore a little bit more, because we did have a very brief chat on the vlog. You're doing some kind of commercial airliner, mate?
Yes, I'm doing the A380. It's a beast, if I can put my hand on. They're actually, the parts are in the bath now because we're upstairs, obviously, and I've been washing them. And it's the Rebel 144 A380. Commercials are civilian, as I was prompted, civilian. There it is. No, if you look at that, if you see that, that's what they see. All right, can you see that? It is a beast of an aircraft, but it's just a bit of a diversion. I know it's a bit of a simplistic paint, but it's a nice thing to do, and I'm just having a bit of a change. Few disasters. I mean, I've got the lightning here, which for one reason or another has been across the floor today, but I'm having a lot of problems. You might be able to see, I don't know. The pin washers migrated into places it shouldn't be. So
Right.
that's an ongoing thing. So that's a bit of a revelation. Reservation? It's restoration.
That's right. It's okay.
And I've got the Wellington, which I'm quite chuffed about.
Yeah.
But I had a disaster with the decals, so I'm just awaiting some replacements. Hopefully Sean will help me out with that. If not,
Yeah.
I'll have to go back to whatever. But I'm quite chuffed with that. It does look pretty well in the fresh, but it will look better with a matte coat on. But they're the things that have gone on at the moment. So
Happy days.
onwards and upwards.
I do need to make a very slight amendment to my book because, for some reason, where is my? Oh, it's there. We had Paul Patton today.
Don't forget to
And,
bow.
do you know what? I did not mark him down on his subs, so it wasn't 14, it was 15. Who else did we have? Craig in. What did you make to Craig's outfit today?
Well,
Mad surgeon.
it looked like something out at Rocky Horror Show.
Right.
I mean, I love the guy a bit. He's brilliant. His enthusiasm's brilliant. And the amount of models he had in resin, and he had this dust extractor, the mask on. And like I said, he could do it marigolds, and he had the apron on and all the dispelled or whatever they call it, tools out. And it despair, thank you very much. You know, getting his tool out and using it, and then spent 20 minutes polishing his tool and putting it back in its holder. I'm only joking, obviously. Yeah, but pretty good. I was quite impressed with the amount of attention to detail he was doing and the equipment that he had with him. I mean, this resin stuff must be really bad for him to have a mobile air filter and a mask.
Yeah, mate.
But poor old Martin at the other side, he was just getting all drafted. He had no mask on, no apron, nothing. And little lad sat next to him going, "Daddy, what are you doing?" He said, no, you're all right. I'm just generally pointing at you.
Cool beans. Dougie took in today. Always at club. Mark Wilson with his busts as usual, and then last but not least, Derek. Mark, coming back to you, and again on the vlog, we were sort of like tapping on what you're on with at the moment. Tell everybody what you're doing, mate.
You've loaded that question, haven't you? You've loaded it.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, for some reason my speaker's gone really quiet. I wonder if I can turn that back up. Go on, fill us in.
At the moment, I've just started the Trumpeter 132nd US Marine Corps AV-8B.
Okay.
That has been started in conjunction with me trying not to lose my rag with a 148th Kitty Hawk Jaguar T2.
Okay. Now we're having problems with that more, mate, aren't we? Why? Go on, explain.
This is the third Kitty Hawk Jaguar I've done. The first one, surprisingly, went swimmingly. Absolutely no trouble. But the last two that I've done, the instructions have been a right mishmash. Nothing seemed to run in conjunction with or whatever, but there's been, rather than like Airfix doing a one-piece rear undercarriage leg, Kitty Hawk in their infinite wisdom has seemed to put it into three.
Oh,
and whichever way you put the undercarriage legs, when the undercarriage was dry fitted, because you've got to fit the rear undercarriage to the fuselage half, and then once you've done the other side, then they button up together. But once you've dry fitted the undercarriage leg, and I used little just knobs of blue tack just to press it in together, just so I could see and make sure it's all aligned or whatever. But you had, for example, north to south, the aircraft's nose was at the north, the rear undercarriage legs, the wheels trail the undercarriage legs. But it was like a car that had excessive toe-in angle. As I say, the aircraft should be going north to south, but the wheels were coming out that sort of way. And it was like, no, that won't work. So, in a fit of absolute rage, I got my sharpest snips and absolutely mullered out the front undercarriage leg that was already fitted. Yeah. And as luck would have it, per chance, I have a clear stand, as this thing is now going to be displayed in flight mode.
You lucky bugger.
Yes. Thank you very much, Elsie, because I think this was the one I got for you, mate, all those times ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Ange says, hi there, Mange here. That's Mark and Ange that are having a little view. So, people who didn't come today, Chris Barlow. Chris is working every hour God sends. I think his company are literally running him into the ground. And it's been a while since we've seen Chris, and we do like to have Chris. We do like to have Chris along down at club because he's always very meticulous, is Chris, isn't he, in what he does?
He's also very good.
Yes. I could sit and watch him for hours. The amount of detail. I remember him with the, was it the Victor?
Yeah.
When we were at the other community centre, and I was sat watching for 10 minutes, and it was like little dot, and then gradually, the guys are, out of this world. Brilliant.
Awesome.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, very, very good.
Ali is busy with family. Dave, as we say, has had his operation, but it sounds like that has all gone well. Dave Jackson's had Dave Jackson, a good friend of mine is Dave. Dave was actually at club from day one, but Dave's had a bit of a mare of the last sort of 12, 18 months. Fraser replicated that, and obviously the people that go down to club know why. No Bill today, but like I say, he has been over to see Dave, and Bill's just got back from Canada. Tim and Padre hanging out, I'm sure. Martin Radforth, usually a face to be seen, but no Mar today. Neil we've spoke about. Shara's sort of like been a bit hit and miss over the last couple of sessions.
But it's not like Shara, because he likes to get his 100% in, doesn't he?
He bloody does, mate. Yeah, absolutely. I've known Shara drive all that way, literally for an hour, and then say, right, guys, I'm going. Yeah, very much. And I go, what are you going for? And he says, I've only come for me, Mark.
Yeah. I remember that.
Rob working all over country with his lad, not been able to come either. Connor, Alan, I think what did Alan put on sandwich order the other day? He was busy. He was just busy.
He just said family busy.
Family busy. Simon is busy plumbing, up to his nuts in guts. Andy White. Andy's been quite regular lately, but didn't make the journey today. I'll tell you who we missed today, young Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis and Victoria, brilliant.
Lewis
every favourite place I love down there, they've been to it last week. And it's been like living a lot of good memories. And I'm bless them both. They really deserve a good break, and I'm glad they've really enjoyed it. Really am.
Cool. Connor, as we've mentioned, Chris was busy. Neil has had a near fatal, I do believe. And then, did anybody see Barry today? Yes, I did. Mark?
It was.
Yeah, so I'm at the fight.
Did you see Barry today, Roo?
Yeah, I was so excited. It's stunning game, isn't it? Yes. Well, we had a good. Well, it's basically a rat through a drain pipe, and the idea that Barry dropped a rat down a piece of drain pipe, and you had a baseball bat, and you had to hit it to win. Now, I had a go, and somebody not 2 million miles away from me says, you're rubbish, I'll have a go. And you had a go, mate, didn't you? And how many times? 4, 5, 6. And no, you'd never even caught its tail. But it was a good game, good laugh. Yeah, I enjoyed the fit, to be honest. It was something different. So, yeah, I enjoyed that. It was quite cool.
Cool beans. Bonus ball. I'll tell you how many numbers have gone today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Now, actually, that's not too bad because May's pot was a rollover. And we're not allowed to say how much it is. But June's pot, all the numbers sold, and we had one lucky winner, didn't we, Mark?
We did.
Who were that?
Not flipping me.
Yeah, and it wasn't me neither.
And it wasn't me, but good old Lewis, he's deserved it, bless him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Lewis took a right pot of cash home with him. So when we went out for the Indian the other night, and we rung him up, Andy, didn't we, and said, you know, well done, mate, you've won the bonus ball. We told him how much it was, and we said, obviously, you know, best practice there, mate, is to save that money for Telford. He rang me back 2 minutes later and asked me how much he'd won. I told him, and he said, "Oh, that's good because I've spent half of it already."
Bless his cotton socks. We had a right laugh at Bolton because obviously he came with us and we had no trouble. He's an absolute star, a genuine club member, and every time he came back to our stand, it was like, I bought another one. I said, your mother's going to go nuts. No, all right. I said, I'm off for one. He said, I'm going for a wander round. Said, all right, don't be buying another. No. And he come back with a carrier bag full. It'd be like, I bought this, I bought that, I bought other. But bless him, he's a lovely lad.
I think he came back with about 7 kits or so.
Yeah, yes, he did, Mark. You're right. Yeah. He's a credit to the club. He's an absolute star, and I love him a bit. Brilliant.
And then decided to build them all in 24 hours. Let's catch up with a couple of comments. So Ange says the diorama from today, could that be brought to the next meeting as missed? I will post that onto the group on Facebook and see if we can get Andy to bring that back in. Stan C says good evening from Breezy County, Durham. We're not too bad down here, actually, Stan. We're getting a little bit of wind up. Dave says Bill slept in. He didn't get out of bed till 11:15 with a teary face.
Yeah, all right. He's still on Canadian time, isn't he? That's what his problem is. He's been that many times he can't distinguish between GMT and Canadian GMT, whatever they call it.
Correct, Mundo. And then we've got now. So this, I don't know if you guys can you guys see the comments on the side of the screen? I don't know if you can.
I can't. No.
Right. Okay. So a message to everybody from a gentleman called John Alex Scale Modelling. Now, I've talked about John on my videos, and I've mentioned him down at club a couple of times. John is the chap that I followed to build the Spitfire, and John's absolutely gorgeous voice of hi and thanks for tuning in. Absolutely, I love it to bits. And John says hiya, Mark, and all in the stream and the chat.
Hiya, guy.
Hiya.
How do?
So can we talk about the lack of tape measure facilities today? And
now then, hang on. Me and Sam got it sorted. I got my steel rule out.
Whoa! Stop! Let's start with why we need one, what we're doing, where we're going. Come on, let's get the story right.
Right.
Sorry to cut in, but can I just make one point? I do apologise, Roo. I know there's a bit of a delay on this.
Right.
But may I just say one thing? Mr. Andrews, last time I was in your car, you had one in your car.
I know, I can't find it. I cannot find it anywhere. Do you know what? I've opened every pouch, every glove box, checked in my set. I can't find it anyway. So tell the story, Andy, why we need a tape measure. What's going off?
Well, we're going to Telford in November as a group, and to make an impression, we're going to have an evening meal, and we're all going to have not a uniform, but something that says, you know, we are sesku and we are a group of people that, you know, enjoy ourselves, and we're all banded together. So in that case, we wanted, you asked for measurements for shirts. Now,
Yes.
you went into your car and I went in, because I had one. I've always kept one. It's disappeared. Yours disappeared. So I ended up with my tape measure, the builder's one, on the table where the airbrush user is. And Trevor, bless his cotton socks, dismantled something and come up with a USB cord. So we're all wandering around, putting this USB cord down his necks and holding it properly, and then measuring it for the collar size for the shirts that were to order. So I thought that was quite ingenious, a bit of teamwork. We're all walking around with a USB cord around his necks, and it worked quite well.
Yeah.
And then somebody said he wanted chest sizes, didn't they, Mark?
Yes, I did. Yes, because obviously some of us have got really slender long necks, but really big manly chests.
You mean somebody's got a stumpy neck and a big man boob? Is that what you're saying?
That's the one. Yeah, mate.
I'll be 1 minute.
That's the one. So you're right. There's quite a few of us going to Telford. I will give you the numbers exactly. 15, 16, 17. There's 18 of us. 18 boys and girls from sesku club this November going down to Telford. Not just for the day, though, Andy.
No, we're stopping overnight. So it'd be quite a good deal, wouldn't it? We're all settled up. It's somewhere different. And not a lot of people know Jean's history, but she hasn't been around the country a great deal. So, and I'm obviously well travelled, as you know. But it'll be nice to get her out and about and mingle the club that we're both fond of, and a bit of travel that I'm very fond of, and trying to encourage Jean. And then we'll spend time at the show and spend time on his own going out and exploring. I think it's just a perfect blend. I think I'm really looking forward to it.
Telford boys and girls this year. Trev, Andy, yourself, Paul, Pat, myself, Marky Bridge, Bill, Mark Lid, Dale, Martin Beddoe, Craigie, Rob Fingers Crossed, Doug Tuck, Lewis, Rob, Connor, Jean, Ange, and Leanne. So, Jean,
yes,
what have you and Ange been up to today?
Picking dresses, deciding what colour.
Right,
but we're not telling you anything.
You're not telling me anything.
Unless Angie's already shown you them. She has, hasn't she?
Yes, of course she has. Yes.
Angela, you dead. That's it.
If it is the one that she showed me, it looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And obviously that's the ladies' evening wear, isn't it, for when we go out for something to eat?
Yeah, it's all gold.
All good. Gentlemen in their shoes, trousers, club shirts with a nice tie, and the ladies in their gorgeous dresses. Okie dokie, very cool, very cool. Let's have a look what else we've got. What did you know? This is a little bit off ball, this Andy, but the lady that bear with me, had to get so John says thank you, Mark, that's warm, mate, no problem for that at all. And Andrew said had to get the price accepted. Jean,
you could have just showed him the price, Angie.
Right, okay. But Jean did show us she's looking at getting some brooches. So obviously our club emblem, it's a phoenix.
Yes, and it is a phoenix we're having.
A little phoenix brooch as well.
Yeah.
That looks great. What about the check that we got today? You saw the check.
Brilliant.
Really good idea.
Brilliant.
Really good idea.
The idea of
what a good idea, wasn't it?
the idea of being reusable is just fantastic. You know, I mean, something like that, you can keep it. I don't know if you're going to put it in hardboard or you're going to keep it flexible for storage.
No,
I don't know.
No, mind you, saying that, Andy, I must admit, I thought, obviously, once we'd done with it today, because we've done a little bit of a mock-up, and I thought, if I put some sort of foam board at the back of this and make it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I said to the admin lads, look, you know, I've had an idea. We do a lot of work for charity, and maybe we ought to get one of those big sort of presentation checks. Thanks to Trev for ordering that. But when we're sort of chatting and Trev saying, well, how big do you want it? Do you want it this big or do you want it this big? I says, look, you've got 25 quid, get biggest that you can. And that's what we did. And it's over, I think it's 1.2 or 1.3 meters wide by a meter tall. When I rolled it up and put it in the car, I thought, oh, that's easy. But when we do a presentation, does it need to be backed up with a foam board so that it's flat and stiff, or
no?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Mark? If Bridgie, what about getting like a big piece of drain pipe so you could roll it without creasing it, and then it'd be easy to transport?
Yeah, but there's no need to have it foam backed. I mean, we managed to, even if but for people hold it, as I overheard somebody say about with regards to storage. Yeah, you can roll it up, keep it rolled up, but there's no problem with it just having people on either side to hold it.
Yeah.
I mean, we managed with the demonstration at club, so.
Yeah, at a presentation, you'll get the giver and the receiver, one at either end, won't you?
Yeah.
Now then, Mr. Andrews, I'm not going dry again. So it's
Mind
just like, yes, all right, mate.
Mind out of the gutter. Okay. I think that, do you know what? I think that's actually just about it for today. Gala, what did you think? Just obviously, there's going to be people all over my YouTube. That's loads of subs watching this. What did you think to the local gala today?
Enjoyable, wasn't it? Well spread out.
Attended.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
It was nice to see you all up there, Mark, Bridgie, you know, doing their bit, encouraging people to get involved by, you know, giving stuff away, which is the best way to get people involved. I spent 75 quid on the tombola and ended up with half a litre of lemonade. I didn't even get anywhere near. And then we went for a bacon sandwich that was very nice, wasn't it? And a coffee. Yeah, it took a while to get there, but it was all right. I was very disappointed in Mr. Andrews for not getting the pirate and keeping it on. So next time there will be money changing hands, mate, for charity. So take it from there. But yeah, I enjoyed it. You know, I hooked a duck and you ended up with a pig, didn't you?
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear. So yeah, so job's a good one.
That's all I've got now.
I enjoyed it. It's nice. I wish, to be honest, we'd have sort of had like a stall or something to let people know who it was. We're there every other Saturday, and then they could come and have a look. Like Bill's done, he's been down and he's joined in, so other people might have been interested. So if it had a stall or, you know, look, we're only down at Up, come down and have a look and have a listen and whatever. Maybe something in future, I don't know. What do you think?
That leads me on to my next question, which was going to be, obviously today we tested the water by just going as people off the street, so to speak.
Yeah.
We did look at having a table there earlier on in the year, but we decided that there wasn't quite enough interest because obviously, don't forget, if it falls on a normal club day, we have to man club and then we'd have to man the tables as well. I think.
Yeah.
I think that if we and Mark said it actually while we were walking around, if we'd have been under a gazebo with a little bit of wind today, would have been literally catching aircraft that were taking off the table. However,
We're going backwards over, isn't it? So
we could do it. I think if we spoke to Barry, Marc, who's quite well in with that group of people, that we could probably get a room in the school.
Yeah. Was the actual school and premises open themselves?
Yes,
Yeah,
mate.
they were having the punch and Judy and magic showing. It might have been the gym. I don't know. So yeah, the school was open. Yeah.
Yes, it was. Right. Okay. Do you know what? I think that's it for club, because they were hardly all going off.
No, but they were building and people were enjoying themselves. But yeah, brilliant.
Let me just have a look through a little bit of history. For the Air Cadets money, when you set up a Just Giving page, you have to put a bank account into that as well. And I've put mine in. I'm literally waiting for that money to drop. As soon as that money drops into my account, I'm going to draw it out, and me and Marc are going to go up and present the big check.
Good.
For those guys. Let me just have a look here. Sandwiches this morning, all right?
Perfect. Absolutely.
Do you know what? We've had one since we were literally turfed out of the Burntwood Centre. We've used two other sandwich, and I know it might sound insignificant, but it's not. We've used two other butty shops until we've dropped on this one, Bacon Butty. And you know, the one of the beautiful things about the boys and girls down at club is we're honest. And when you're starting to get feedback saying that will like eating a bowl of grease, and it fills me up just even thinking about it. And when your sandwiches, we meet twice a month, don't we? And when your sandwiches are coming cold, late, incorrect orders, you soon get fed up.
Yeah.
However,
don't get me wrong, we were very, very blessed and very, very lucky at the Burntwood with Ilya.
Ilya, we were, mate. Absolutely blessed. I've not heard no Phil for quite a while, actually. I've got absolutely no idea what he's doing now.
It's going to be a dad again.
Marc, a dad again?
It's going to be a dad again. You're having a little boy.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, did not know that. Do now. And then Marc, one for you. So, in fact, one for everybody, actually. If I didn't see you and speak to you today. So I've been to see Gail down at Glow. Marc, you know what's coming. And I have looked at the design with her for merch for 2024. I know it's like we've literally just come into July this year, but it does literally take 4-5 months to get everything absolutely right, because the last thing that we want to be doing is saying this is your new t-shirt for next year and it doesn't turn out right. So I have put an advanced order in, and as soon as that gets done, I will be bringing it to club to show everybody. Okay. And the colour is burgundy.
Oh, nice.
That'll clash with my eyes.
It's burgundy. And it does look nice. I've shown it today. Doug Lid, Mark Wilson as well has seen it. Who else has seen it? Trev's seen it. I'm sure Andy Fisher's seen it. Mark, you might have seen the prototype of it. Craig has seen it. Doug has seen it. I think I've said Doug already. And I am getting a general consensus of a thumbs up, not a 180. it does. What we've tried to do is we've gone for a breathable t-shirt instead of a heavy polo shirt. The heavy polo shirts that we've got, great for your autumn and your winter and your spring. I don't know about you guys, but during the summer down in that hut, I am absolutely baking. So we were looking at just a standard t-shirt. Did you know that the lawnmower had been pinched?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, poor thing.
That's unbelievable.
And the worst thing is,
that was a great source of entertainment on the 24-hour build, because it must think it grows at 2 foot a minute because it went out every other 2 minutes. So I don't know. I mean, a place like that, you wouldn't expect that sort of thing to go on, would you? No.
It was a sort of a great heart attack when I went out for a cig and saw it running around, thinking, "What the beep is that?"
Mechanical badger.
It did literally scare the life out of us, Mark, didn't it? Because
it did.
I think, what it you, Mark, that came out? I came outside for a crafty, and you said, "Shh, what's that?" And we were just sort of like, and it was dead of night, Mark, wasn't it?
Yeah, dead of night.
And we were looking up into space, going, "What the chuffing hell's that?"
And it
turned out it was automatic lawnmower.
The noise changed because it went from the grass onto the concrete onto the front bit of grass, and it was like, "Oh, it's close. Where is it? What is it?"
Because the Lawson hut, it's like where the Lawson hut finishes. You've literally got miles and miles of fields there, and I'm not kidding. My honestly, on that night, Mark, I'm thinking. I was like, "Doc, I can't even tell you because you just take piss forever." I can't tell you, but we didn't know what it was, did we? And it was quite a bit disturbing. We'll say that. We'll say that. Right. Anything else from you guys? How long have we been on now? We've been on for 45 minutes. Last comment was from Ange. About having to get that priced up. Anything else from you guys? We usually keep it going for about an hour. Telford, we've covered Telford. Shows come and gone. Airfix starter challenge. Did that last meeting with Marc, Ange and Craig. We've got absolutely nothing coming up now in July, apart from I'm taking George down to Warhammer World in Nottingham, which was supposed to be.
Yeah. It's something I keep seeing round and about. I think Andy White. Yeah. He does a fair bit, and one or two younguns do it. It's a bit too. Small and detailed for me, but I've seen one or two shops like the one in Wakefield. They had a big launch last Saturday, and there were a lot of people in there. So I'm thinking of having a look and see what it's all about. You know, you never know. We might give it a dabble.
It's a very popular genre.
Pardon?
I think
it's a very popular genre, and the work that can be produced and the detailing that can be produced is out of this world.
Would I be wrong in saying that a lot of the figures that Angie does are Warhammer, or am I getting the right genres mixed up?
No,
she does Warhammer.
That's
because some of them stuff are absolutely brilliant. I know the difference. Yeah. I know Mark's the bust guy and the figure. I mean, the work he does is stupendous, and obviously that's a different genre to what the Warhammer stuff is. So the paints bewilder me, and I keep thinking, why don't you sit down and look down and see if you could use their paints in what I'm doing? So that's something I'm looking forward to in future. You know, just try these shades and bases and this and other. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
I use some of the Citadel paints. I use some of the Citadel paints for when I was doing armour, they do one called Sterland Mud, which is a thick. It's all acrylic based, but it's the sort of thing you just put it on a toothbrush and just sort of like flick it over the tracks and the wheels and whatever, and it just looks like stuck on dried mud.
All right.
Citadel.
Yeah.
Citadel, yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll have to have a look at that. Paul Radcliffe, I like Mark, says evening peace. All right, Sarah. And Ange says, we are asked. Oh, yeah, that's right. So, did you see the guy? I don't know if you were still there. So, it was quite late on in the club. Let me have a think. 1:30. So, it must have been after 1 o'clock. This bloke walked into the Lawson hut while we were sort of like just mulling around. You all right, mate? And he went, "Where's the pizza at?"
Oh, yeah. Next over too. That was brilliant. I tell you what, they were busy. They were busy.
Did you go up?
No, we didn't go because I found these models that you were saying about. But I thought that was a brilliant idea. They've got the pizzas set up, and they were a £5 or something. It wasn't a great deal, but it all went to a charity. And we came back from the fete, and we must have seen 3-4 people all carrying 2 or 3 boxes back. So I think that was a brilliant idea. Hey?
How big were they?
I think they were only 12 inches, or in my case, 6 inches. They were
a fiver a piece, and all money went.
They were only like 12, but I mean, for a £5, mate, you couldn't have gone wrong, and they were all going to charity. God bless them, absolutely superb, brilliant.
Yeah, the money raised was going to Leeds General Infirmary.
That's right. I couldn't remember, Mark. Well spotted, mate. I couldn't remember. Yeah.
Anne says, "Have a chat with me." I'm not sure who that's directed at. It could possibly be Jean. And Paul says, "Sound la." Do you know what? I've just thought about something then, and it's totally chuffing pinged out of my head.
Right.
Bear with me.
No.
Countdown clock.
Do you know what? I've literally just thought, I need to talk about that, and then it's gone. So Paul says, "This is a bit weird. It's like typing with a guitar delay pedal." I don't know what that means, Paul.
Well, we hit a string with a guitar, and if you've got a delay pedal, it delays the sound coming out, so you can get like a one of the many effects you get with guitars. I knows what he means. He's typing and pressing. He's waiting for the reply, and then seconds later you'll go, "It's Paul. It's Ahid. How you doing?" And all that sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's what it is. Just the delay.
Okay. Ange says it's paints. Citadels.
Citadels, yeah. Yeah.
I've remembered. This might sound a bit quirky. So last night I was on a live stream with Luke and the Black Rifle Model Works guys, and we were chatting to a gentleman called John, who's an out-and-out armour builder. Now, Luke's actually coming up to Sesku in November to be the judge for our competition. And that's, as daft as it sounds, that's why I can't make him a member on the Facebook page right now, because I don't want him to sort of like get to know anybody, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you still want to keep him sort of...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But once competition's done, I'll get him on. But we were talking about armour builders, right? And I'm not an armour builder, am I?
No.
Luke is sending me a Tamiya 1 in 35 Chieftain
to
have a play with, to have a bash at, to see what I can do.
That's not... Now then, here's the thing. You've noticed today that post of them kits that I picked up today.
Yes.
There's a Tamiya tank in. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, and it's in bedroom, so I'm not going to get it now. I think I'll go and have a go at that and all. But I can't. The only tank I've done is the Airfix one. Gone out of my head, whatever it is.
I can't remember.
I can't. So I'm thinking I might have a go at this Tamiya one. In fact, I'll go and get it and I'll show you.
Yeah.
You keep. All right, you're good. And I thought, shall I pass it on or shall I keep it? And I think I'm going to have a go at it.
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not an armour builder either, though, are you, Roo?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I've built one tank in, which was the little Airfix one, the starter kit, but I've never built anything resembling a tank. The only thing I did was a half track. That's a long time ago. But this one's come with these. Thank you, Jean. That one?
Yeah.
And I thought, why not give it a go? I mean, it's a Type 97 G135. So, and it's got the elastic things, so we don't have to mess about with the whatevers. So I'm going to give it a go. Yeah, I'm going to give that a go and see how we get on with it. Because I know a lot of guys, I mean, they produce some absolutely stunning. I mean, Lewis can do them in like 35 seconds, 40 seconds. You know, so yeah, I'm going to give it a go, see how it goes.
Cool. Back to the comments. Paul Radcliffe says for the it's like typing with a guitar delay pedal, and Paul says well explained, Roo, spot on.
Thank you very much.
John Alec, question. So John says, are Citadel paints aqueous? I've never used them.
Yes.
Yeah, they are acrylics. Yeah. To the best of my knowledge. Obviously, Ange will be able to confirm this, but as far as I know, I mean, I have got the odd one or two knocking about, but Jane's got them. That's per. So yeah.
And the guys who are used to Citadel paints, I'll just, in fact, if I just tap that like that and just do that, that should actually pop up on your screen now. So if we can, I'll leave that up for a couple of minutes while I chat. If we can get an answer to that one. And Paul Radcliffe RLR says no, and I think that's in relation to the fact that Roo gave me a tank at Christmas, and I made a complete and utter potch of it. I gave it to Dave Jackson and said, "See if you can do this for me." And because Dave's not really been at club this year, he's not brought it back as yet. But I've got to do it, Anta, because I've got cabinets full of Tornadoes and Harriers, A10s, Phantoms, Spitfires, but there's not one piece of armour in my cabinets.
Right.
Marc, are you an armour builder?
I have done armour twice.
But
one of which I was lucky enough to win first prize at the club comp a couple of years ago.
Right, yeah.
Oh, I had to bloody rub it in, didn't he? Look at him squirming. Yeah. Congratulations, mate. You deserved it.
When you've got it, you can flaunt it.
Exactly. I actually, it was I was going through this sort of like period of I fancied a change, and it was a complete mojo regain job. I started it thinking, I only started it as I took Jake Airsoft in one Sunday, and I thought, well, I'm hanging around, so I'm not going to be sat in the car. So I took something for me to do, and it was that Churchill.
Cool.
And had it done pretty much the best part of a day, and I actually enjoyed the build, enjoyed the whole process of it.
It's different to building and painting aircraft than it is to painting and building armour. I think we've lost Roo and Jean. She's probably going to come back and say that her batteries. Oh, sorry, mate, my batteries run out. I'll just wait for her coming back. John Alex says acrylics. Okay, thanks. Citadel acrylics, is that are the water? They're not oil based, are they? They're not enamel based.
Some of the washes are oil based, I know. But with regards to paint, I think they're all, because they do varying types, like a base layer, you sort of like your main kind of top coat, and dry brushing paints. So on the full range, I can't say, but the top coat stuff, your main coat paint is acrylic.
I'm just looking now, Mark, because I have got, and I've not got many. Do you know what I love about the Citadel thing the most? Are the names. I've got a Citadel Eshin
Screaming
Grey.
Skull.
And if I open that, but it's the names like Rune Lord Brass and things, things like that they call those. They don't call it XF1 anymore, do they call them all kinds of weird names.
Gunmetal, I think, in Citadel colours, I think, is called Lead Belcher, and that's always tickles me, that.
Lead Belcher, absolutely. I'm just going to try, and I might have frozen there for a second while I just try and sort my audio out. John Alex says, well done. I'm hoping that that's in relation to the money that we've raised for the cadets and not me taking a tank on. And Go For It Painting says, hello. John Alec replying, hiya, Daniel. So you're not an armour builder, I'm not an armour builder, and Roo, you're not really an armour builder.
No, but since I picked that up, I'm gonna give it a go. Once I've got these two out of the way, three, I'm gonna give it a go.
Well done. I hope you both can find it a pleasant change.
Yeah.
Are we going? There's so much with my speakerphone. Are we going to be looking at lots of YouTube, Andy, or are we just going to go straight in?
Well, we'll try it, and I'll be probably experimenting and obviously talking to lads. I'm probably Lewis and Alan and obviously one or two others that do tanks. Blame, because I've seen it, what he does, and then I'll just have a go and just say, listen to many, pick out a few ideas, and like you do, and then just go for it and see what happens. And then I can bring it into the group and you can all laugh. So
I won't go that far. Angela Little says, it's Mark, mate. So Mark's obviously nicked Angie's phone, and he says, I use Angie's Citadel paints for my cockpit interiors when not spraying. Great for brushing.
Oh, great. Great stuff. I'd never thought about that. The ones I've got seem pretty thin, but yeah.
Let me just have a look up here, because so I have got that one, and do you know what? I don't even know where I got it from. Eshin Grey, and I've got one here. Lead Belcher.
Yeah, I've used that.
It's like a steely colour.
Yeah.
It's like a steely sort of gunmetal-y.
Yes, it is, mate. I used it for the catwalk on that truck. I quite liked it, actually, but I can't find it just at the minute.
Do you know what? I was just going to say I'll give that a stir, but actually, well, number one, it's thicker than crude oil, and number two, there's hardly any of that left. Let me just have a look here. Right, we've got a comment. So hide that current comment and show that one. Best metallic paint, in my opinion, Dark Star Molten Metals, brush and airbrush great, and large range of metallic colours, acrylic, and that's from Stan in County Durham. And then we've got, where's Paul's? Paul says armour is well cool, thumbs up. At least the scale is consistent, thumbs up. Hashtag 1 in 32 aircraft are the way, and the light and the thing that is the thing, and the lights all the way. Paul, obviously onto his third can of lager. And we're all laughing at that one. I'll tell you what, I'm going to show that comment. Can you see that comment on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at least skills constant. After 132 aircraft out of the way, the light and the thing, that is the thing, and the light and the way. Yes. Yes, you're completely correct, mate. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Mark showing us the Harrier there.
There we go.
Cool. 1 in 32. 1 in 32. That is why we're showing that to
Have a bit
Paul.
of that, Paul. Have a bit of that.
I'm surprised nobody's asked me what I'm building.
Mark,
What are you building, Mark?
What are you building, Mark?
Guess what I'm building? Have a guess.
Tornado.
A helicopter.
A left-handed triple knot.
I'm actually building. Can you tell what it is yet? Are we allowed to say that anymore? I'm actually building
An F-15.
an F-15.
Right.
But even though it's a kit, it's a Revel 1 in 48 F-15. All the ordnance is done because, as you're probably aware, it's always bombs and missiles first for me. But I was chatting to, again, some of the lads last night, and I asked, and Mark, you might know this, if the United States Air Force, and I do know the answer, had an F-15 in Desert Storm, desert pink colour.
Well, from experience, I could say no. But the base we were sharing with was an American A-10 base, so on F-15 stuff, I wouldn't know on Desert Storm.
They didn't, mate. No, they did not.
No, I think they kept them in sort of like the standard air defence grey sort of thing.
It absolutely was, which has pushed me to do mine in desert pink.
Oh, why not? Your kit, your build, your rule. Yeah,
Paul says only 3 cans. I'll tell you what, the last 1, 2, 3, the last 4 comments are from Paul, which suggests to me that Paul has found out what his finger's for and where the keyboard is.
Or he's had can number 4.
That bloke's
and says, what are you building, Mark? I've answered that one. Stan says, Posca paint pens, great for cockpit detailing. Stan, Posca paint pens. Do you know what? I'm going to write that down.
I'm doing that myself.
Posca. Because, P-O, I'll pop it up for you, Andy.
Right, mate.
P-O-S.
Posca. Posca.
Paint. Pens.
Stan, whereabouts in Durham?
I've never heard of them.
No, Stan, if you can come back onto comment and say what, where, how, who, how, where, from, how much, etc., that'd be great. I've dropped my pen so that we can have a look. And Paul says, is it a Revel 15? Which obviously it is. Oh, now then, Derek from down at Club says Posca pens are great.
I've never heard of them.
Neither have I, and I've been round the block.
More than once.
Only twice.
Get his own younger.
Posca paint pens, and I'm going to put a little line. Investigate, because I do want to know about those. Paul says, totally agree with the Tosca pens. Now, obviously, beer number 5 is kicking in because we've been talking about Posca paint pens. And Rob says, I've used the Posca pens. Great. Why haven't we heard about these? Where have we been? Under a rock?
I've just had to go and make a note of it myself. So,
Posca pens. Never heard of them.
Have we heard of Tosca pens?
Yep. How much? Yep. Just bear with me. Just bear with me.
He's got a researcher working for him.
Yeah, just sorry, I had to do a little bit of normality there. My washing machine's broken down today.
Oh.
So I'll just Sal's just bought a new one. Lisa Radcliffe. Now, Lisa says, yeah, they're all mine. I'm sure that's back in relation to the beers.
Right.
Paul says, I have told you about Poscas forever.
Kid.
Kid. And then Lisa says, get them in Hobbycraft.
Right.
What other like what other? I've seen the metallic pens, but I've never heard of these Posca pens. Poscas.
Poscas.
Now I have put the comment up on Paul. Yeah, on that one, look, Paul says Posca, and then 2 sips of the lager later, it's Poscas.
Have a look on.
Timeline colour pens.
Yeah.
Pens.
just a message for Stan. Whereabouts in Northumberland are you?
County Durham, I think he said.
Yeah, sorry, County Durham. My apologies. Whereabouts?
It's all right, mate. It's all right. Lots of colours, says Lisa. Lots of colours and metallic colours. What's the nib on that pen like? And what when it flows, is it gushing out of the nib? How precise are they? She also says the range have them.
All right. So it's definitely Posca.
I don't really want to say because Paul's been calling them Toscas, Poscas, and everything else. And I know that Paul's watching this, and he's probably, he's watching it on his phone because he's typing, and he's had a couple of lagers, so he's probably spitting feathers right now, going, "It's Posca, you dozy! Are you not listening?
You dozy twats!" I know what it'd be like, bless him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Lisa says, "No, I don't drink beer. I just have lots of Posca pens."
Posca pens. So it must be Posca then. So we're definitely going Posca.
Yeah. Well, Lisa normally sort of is right okay with her typing, so I think she meant to say Prosecco, but she got her fingers caught up on the keyboard.
Yeah, mate. Stan C. Marc says Chester Street. If that's any good to you.
All right.
Yeah,
I just wondered if it was anywhere near Bishop.
I was up there last week.
Yeah, there's that nice northeast model shop at Chesterley Street.
Yeah.
Paul says correct, and go for it painting. Now then, I've not seen this one before. This is obviously something to do with YouTube. He says hit the thumbs up. Well, he doesn't say hit the. In fact, look, I'll show you. He says hit the thumbs up. I've no idea what that means. Anybody?
Nope.
No. Okay. Who's that? Let me just have another look at that.
Nice one,
Lisa says, I wish I did drink. I could cope with Paul then. I think it's about time that Paul took them dogs out into the garden for a wee, Lisa, if I'm not mistaken. Chester Street, where's that then, Marc? Is that an area that you know?
I've got friends in Bishop Auckland, well, Crook, but we went up to Durham, and as you know yourself, Mark, Durham's a lovely city.
It certainly is, mate. Yeah.
And I didn't realise that the cathedral was part of the set for seeing some of the shots. It was used as a set location for some of the Harry Potter films.
Yeah,
that's right.
No, but the Northeast Model Centre or Northeast Model Shop is in Chesterley Street. An old, what looks to be an old chapel when you drive past it.
Now, I went in there, and what a gorgeous building. And I actually met while I was in there. So you guys know why I was going up there.
Yeah.
And I bumped into, I think I put it on one of the Facebook groups or onto my personal profile. You know, this is where I'm going, etc., etc. And a friend, again, an acquaintance from up that neck of the woods, Mark Smith, said, "Oh, you know, this is where I live. It'd be great to meet you." And I said, "Oh, I'm going to the Northwest Model Centre. Number one, that model shop is absolutely gorgeous. And number two, I managed to Marky Smith. He actually sort of gave up his dinner hour, so to speak, to stop work and pop down to the shop to come and say hello. I mean, absolute beauty." Paul Radcliffe says, "Don't make me come up there and steal things."
Well, there you go. We could say things about Liverpoolians and things missing, but we won't.
Now, you've opened a can of worms there, because I know for a fact he's going to come back and say I'm not from Liverpool. And Stan C says, "Model shop is about 1.5 miles away, so many paints, even a full range of life colours. It is a great shop." I think that did I go downstairs as well? There's a downstairs to it as well, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. I think the downstairs was more sort of like your fantasy stuff.
That's right. I do remember seeing some Star Wars stuff. Do you know what? I actually bought the Junkers, Where Eagles Dare Junkers from there, because when I went up, I hadn't got anything in particular that I wanted to buy. That's the place where I first bought let me have a look, Mig Ammo Lucky Varnish. That's where I first bought that from. And then when I picked the Junkers up, it had got a price on it, something like $69.99. And I noticed that they'd got an online shop as well. So I looked online and it were up at $49.99. I says, how come you're charging 20 quid more if I buy it cash than if I do it online? And he said, well, just order it online now and you can take it for 50 quid, which were a bit peculiar, but hey ho. Right, so Harrier, so the 4 kits, Mark, 4 kits. I am going to talk about 4 kits that have not made it off the bench. What is going off?
4 kits that have not made it on the bench, but they've been, funnily enough, where they've ended up does start with B as well.
Yeah.
One was a mini art 1.5-ton Russian truck with a quad anti-aircraft gun system on it.
That failed because why?
That failed because, don't get me wrong, mini arts are brilliantly engineered kits. For example, I think this one worked out at 16 pieces per wheel and tyre. As rather than having one half of a wheel, another half of a wheel, gluing them together, this one, it was like you get a wheel and it was like individual slices. So when you put them all together, it actually came out with a visible tread pattern. Really, really nice touch and well engineered. But the chassis, I mean, I started it with the best of intentions and then put it, as you do, put it to one side, crack on with something else. And it hadn't been touched for about probably the best part of 2 years. and where it was in my loft was underneath my window, and everything had warped to hell.
God,
Nothing would fit on the chassis. Nothing would attach on anything. So in the end, it was a case of.
Right. Yeah, forgive him for that one. Next up.
Hasegawa F8 148 F18A.
But that's a nice kit.
It was a very nice kit. A very nice kit.
However, numbnuts here didn't follow the instructions and glued a part on wrong. And when I came how catastrophic was that?
Very, because by the time I got that I needed to try and get the wing out of the slot in the fuselage, it had been the wing root fuselage joint had been chipped, cracked, chunks missing out, and we're talking substantial chunks here that Mr. Milliput or flipping Vallejo liquid putty ain't gonna fill.
Right.
So that's gone in.
Next.
I'm not trying to say anything bad, but funnily enough, the second kit was the Hasegawa as well.
Right.
The Alcock and Brown F4 Phantom.
Scale.
48.
Now, go on, tell me.
I can't bloody remember what the heck. It was going great, all built up, 98% structurally complete. Masked off the canopies, primed it, and I thought, okay, somebody had said that on another page that I follow, he's another ex-armourer like myself, and he did a Phantom, and I said, how'd you get your panel lines looking absolutely pristine, die straight? And I said, how do you do it? And he said, paint pen.
Right.
So I thought, okay, have a bash at that. So, did all the biz. Now, unfortunately, my compressor has gone and developed a slight leak. So I tried thinning down Tamiya XF and brush painting, bit of retarder. And it just, as soon as the paint hit the surface, well, not so much where it was primed, that went on fine, but as soon as it went over where it had been paint markered, it just went to gloop. Holes were starting to appear where plastic was melting. And I thought, clucking bell.
And then obviously the Jag with the undercarriage. Let me just go back to the comments, guys, if I may. So Paul says, what's Paul saying there?
Poscas are 1mm nib, great for dotting switches, painting pre-molded cables, hoses, etc.
Cool. John says,
I live in a town city called Frederick. It's 50 miles north of DC and 50 miles west of Baltimore. We have a greater metro pop of.
It's coming.
Had a greater metropolis population of 240,000 and have one hobby shop.
Brilliant. Hello,
he
John.
Does well for business.
Hello, John.
Paul says.
Mini
the reason
do you want this in Mr. Radcliffe style?
Yeah, mate.
Mini art may be over-engineered, lots of small, fragile, poxy bits.
The reason that I have to do that is because once I actually put, you can see my big finger. Once I put the comment on screen, I can't see the comment anymore. Stan C says, Posca pen you need are the PC 1 MR 0.7 tip, which is that
Hold
one.
on 1 minute. Leave that comment there for 1 minute. I'm going to go and get my pen and paper.
Yeah, well, I'll write it down anyway. So thanks for that. What's that one? Is it? Let me just unhide that. Rob says, the comments disappeared. Rob says, really struggle with 48th. Much prefer the one in 32s, which is the same as what our LARP or Radcliffe does. I'll pop that back on for you, Mark, so that you can see that one.
MR, 1 MR.
CC dash 1 MR 0.7 mil tip.
And this one is definitely for you, Mark.
Are you my long lost brother, Allah? Well, possibly so. Hey.
All right, calm down.
Calm down, our kid. Calm down.
Cool.
A lot of you.
He'll find his bike on
Absolutely.
bricks. You know what I mean?
So, Roo, aircraft airliner on the bench. Then you're going to tackle that tank.
Yes. And talking about 132s, I have a 262 in stash. I have a Harrier in the stash as well. They're 132s. So they're looking favourites for the next after I get these done, finished, happy. That's what I'll be doing. Yeah. I'll keep you up to date.
If it's anything like the 148 262, it's a lovely build.
Well, I don't know. I just really fancied it because I tried a 132. No, I didn't. I tried a 172, 162, and I glued the two halves of the engines. I glued the two halves together that should have been on each other, and so I had a tantrum and threw it away. So with this one, I'm hoping for a bit more luck.
Measure twice, cut once.
That's the one.
Jean, what are you on with now and what are you on with next?
Andy Phoenix is nearly finished. I'll fetch him in next club. I've
Thank
got
you.
Thunderbolt. I've just got to decal. That's hope might be finished for next club. I've got my Naka Dreamer that just wants decaling and all up. Bits are done for that and it wants sticking together. And then I can keep going this fortress.
Very good. Message here from Derek.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. Nice one. Yes.
Thanks for that, Derek. Derek says, looking forward to seeing an ME 262 at Rhea. I thought there were a 262 at Cosford.
Not flying.
No?
That one is.
It still flies.
There's
Does it still fly,
Re one. No, there's no 262s flying. Original 1940s. Right. This one's a modern remake from the original drawings and plans.
So basically, it's basically the same. But yeah. Oh, that'd be brilliant. That'd be absolutely fantastic to see.
But they're using modern engines as well.
I was watching a program this morning, and I can't remember the name of it, but they were comparing Whittle and the German guy. They were both developing the jet more or less at the same time. And it was just fascinating how the timing just seemed to be perfect for both. But the 262 obviously came in late at the war, but the amount of figures and the speed the thing was going compared to the propellers, it must have been another world in them days. I mean,
very
the
much
amount of speed it could create, fascinating. And Whittle, even though he was refused once and this, but he kept going. And look where we are today, bless him.
Yeah,
the 262 was seriously flawed in its flight time. It could only fly for about, I think, either 4 or 6 hours before it needed an engine change, because at that point in the war, at that stage in the war, you know, precious metals or composite alloys or precious alloys, so to speak, were in, you know, like hen's teeth.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get enough of the white metal mix or white metal alloy for the engine bearings.
Yeah.
And that's what limited it. They, you know, ultimately after 6 hours, the bearings were shot and the engines gave up.
All right, cool.
Yeah, right. Excellent. Thank you for that, Mark. That's brilliant. I like a bit of history.
I suppose in one respect we're thankful for that. There is an anniversary next year, isn't there? Because already, I'm sure I either saw it on the news the other day or read it on a post. There's an 80th anniversary next year that will tie in for our club competition. What is it, Mark?
D-Day.
Is it D-Day next year for the 80th?
6th of June 1944. So it'll be 6th of June 2024.
Yeah. And obviously we don't have our competition until November, but obviously we being the anniversary year, we can certainly tie that in. I'm just looking at the time, guys. We've been going for 1 hour and 25 minutes, and I am on Dad's taxi. So before we wrap up, enjoyed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Brilliant. First time ever.
Good chat.
Really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Good chat, good banter, good company.
Yeah. Really enjoyed it.
Excellent. The most people that we've had viewing this evening is 15. This will go straight onto my YouTube. Well, it's on my YouTube channel now, but it usually takes a day or two for the thumbnail to show up. But from me, I just want to say absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Roo Jean and Marc, for your contributions on the video. It's been absolutely fantastic having you on. I'm really, really pleased that you've enjoyed it. Talking about club, what we've done, what's coming up, etc., and making it thoroughly enjoyable. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely no problem. Ange says, thanks, being brilliant. What happens now, guys, obviously, because you're new to this or newish, I know Mark's done StreamYard before, I can end the broadcast, and I do have to say this, but you guys will remain with me in the room, because in the past, thanks, John, in the past, when I first went onto a StreamYard, Andy, and the chap I were on, we said, right, okay, I'm going to end the broadcast. Started I, and obviously he ended the broadcast, and I left the room. And I was sort of like, I thought, oh, that ended quite abruptly. Little did I know that just because the broadcast ends, I thought that the room ends as well. And it doesn't. John, Alec, thank you all. Great stuff. Appreciate you watching there, John. I love your work, mate, and follow you eagerly and avidly on YouTube. And I did give you a big push on Ice Queen 7 and also on Black Rifle Model Works. I talked about you on there a couple of months since. And Paul says, and yes, enjoyed this and good evening, everybody. So we're going to leave it at that. Thanks, everybody, for watching. It is quite scary sat here and trying to keep things going and hoping that the participation keeps going. But it's flowed absolutely brilliantly, guys. So thank you ever so much. Thank you.
All right then, Mark. No problems.
Thank you.
Right, I'm going to end the broadcast and I'll chat to you guys off screen. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.